we're able to take off our armor, lay down other people's opinions, and go into a safe place and have a discussion. As we all have an understanding that the ancient texts say the elite will be the most fooled. And anyone who follows them will be fooled right along with them. See, there are certain groups of people on the planet that are controlling what we now call the elite. And these people who call themselves the elite, they don't work for themselves. They work for maybe 6 families on this planet who are trying to control everything. But one of the things that we want to talk about today, let's talk about Ukraine. Ukraine. We have almost 300,000 troops, Russian troops, on the border of Ukraine. NATO is saying that there's already an incursion into Ukraine. Biden, our Secretary of State, is prepping and sending military troops over into the area, warning Russia that if there's an incursion, there's going to be serious consequences. Serious consequences. And these consequences can lead into an all-out war. During a pandemic, when you think about it, most people haven't recovered from the pandemic. The United States is about maybe 50 to 60, maybe even $75 trillion in our debt now. The world is hundreds and hundreds of $1 trillion in debt. The United States, within the past year, had created almost $10 trillion in currency. And this is what's causing the high inflation rates that we're seeing now. We talked about that. We also talked about how they're going to be doing food shortages and the inflation rate going up, and how they're going to make it hard for you to buy farmland and all that other type of stuff. Thank you, Bill Gates and the United States government, who are forcing people off of their land through carbon pipeline. But Ukraine is interesting. So is China. We're going to get to China in a minute. But Ukraine is interesting because Ukraine is a situation where Biden's son was working on there. Remember we had that laptop that, Giuliani had? He said there's all kinds of stuff on there. We don't know exactly where the laptop is now. The Attorney General of Delaware had it. He gave it back to Biden and then gave it over to the FBI. And the FBI has it. Nobody said anything about that at all. They got millions and millions of dollars. I think Biden was running some sort of a program for an oil company over there, or a gas company, and he was getting like $1 million a month or something like that. Biden is compromised. He's the compromised president. And maybe this is the reason why he's kowtowing to a country, Ukraine, over there in the Baltic, that nobody really even cares about here in the United States. There's nothing to do with us. We don't care. Why should we send thousands of our troops over there, maybe even 100,000 or so of troops over there to get killed for a country that has nothing to do with us? It's not our business. But as Biden is threatened that they're going to release all kinds of stuff, perhaps maybe he has no choice. Perhaps maybe he really does have no choice, and he has to capitulate to their will. Now, NATO says it's imperative that we protect Ukraine, the Baltic over there. Remember Monopoly? Their game Monopoly where, everybody wanted to get Park Avenue, they wanted to get, everything but the Baltics. Right? Remember that? The two little blue ones, whatever you want, Broadwalk. He wanted all that stuff, but if you landed on that was the worst part of the Monopoly game that you could ever get. Nobody ever wanted that. Worthless. Worthless. And as we look at this thing being worthless, we look at the Baltics. I mean, what is it really worth to us? We have no assets in the Baltic Sea. We were chased out of there years ago under Obama. And the only thing that we had there to protect is Biden and anything that might come out that they might release. So what is really happening? Because Putin says that the only reason why he's doing what he's doing is because he doesn't want NATO in there. He doesn't want NATO putting missiles in there. See, under Barack Obama, we went through that before. When Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. And they were going to be putting all that stuff in there. And the Ukrainian government said, no, we don't want that. And they went in there, created a coup, and the United States replaced the government with the government structure that's in there right now. So this is not the original government that's over there. This is the government that the NATO forces put in power. The original government wasn't siding with Russia, but they weren't going to be fighting with Russia. They're neighbors. So you have to think about all the things that's going on with China, because China, there's, millions of dollars that were given to the Biden family over there as well. And you have to really think, is war worth it to protect the Bidens and the Democrats and some Republicans? Honestly, their reputations, their status, and their money. When these people don't give one iota about you. And that's why this is called I Am Not the Elite. Because we have to make sure that we are thinking about everything that's going on. This war that they're creating it because they're going to try to cover their crimes of humanity with this whole entire COVID and vaccine stuff. And they're going to try to blame the economic downfall on the war. I would urge every single American citizen right now to call their congressmen and their senators. And Canadians, call your prime ministers and representatives and tell them no war. No war today, no war tomorrow, no more war ever. Let us sit down and take care of our own populace right now. Let us recover from all the things that are going on. Let us not live in this barren land of war. Because these people who are governing the United States, Canada, and all these other different types of places, they're vicious. They're vicious, and they don't care about you at all. This is the reason why I say it's all a sham. And they don't care about playing with the lives of our military personnel or even with the lives of us. Going to direct war with Russia is lunacy. Just like going with direct war with China is lunacy. Because you got to remember, you're not only going to war with Russia, it's Russia, Iran, Pakistan. It's also China and whoever else is a part of their consortium. This could be a long, long year. Long, long year. If they want to commit to what they're trying to do. They're trying to create something that isn't there. Putin says that he doesn't want anything to deal with war. Nothing to deal with it. Nothing. Pull your troops back and he'll pull his troops back. Simple. Don't put any missiles over there and allow Ukraine to be free. And I'm talking to the West. Even though, again, the news commentators and everything, all these people are seditious, traitors to the United States and to their people. This is I Am Not the Elite. Call your congressman and say, I don't want war.